breaking the rules, playing around, being reckless and impulsive. Cheng Xiaoshi is so notorious for those things to the point that he was even labeled as an idiot. It can be very irritating to have an idiot around. No wonder Tiaoling often loses her temper on him, while his best friend Lu Guang, who is already the most patient with him, can't help but lose his cool and call him an idiot as well. But is Cheng Xiaoshi really an idiot? A lot of viewers got frustrated with Cheng Xiaoshi's decisions in season 1. He was also criticized for being too emotional and stubborn. Moreover, his stupid actions had caused a lot of trouble. So, in summary, he was hated for being an idiot. But you see, given Cheng Xiaoshi's powers and situation, I do not agree that his actions can be easily dismissed as idiotic. Remember, when Cheng Xiaoshi enters into a photo, he not only possesses the photographer, but also inherits their memories and emotions. So he's not just wearing a mask to pretend to be that person, because he becomes that person. Cheng Xiaoshi cannot stop this guy's romantic attraction towards his crush, and when he possessed a child, their feelings of fear and joy had become so natural to him. So sometimes, Lukong doesn't really need to instruct him on what to do or how to react. So, if his host has loved ones that they want to protect at all costs, during that moment it becomes his own desire as well. Much more if he sees his own loved ones in those people. So, if the circumstances of his host are similar to his own, the impact on him is, of course, doubled, since he could relate to them. No wonder the times when he screwed up the most were the arcs wherein his host's parents are involved. After all, he is also someone who misses his parents a lot. So, if his host misses their parents too, he sees himself in them. He deeply understands how they feel. And of course, being such a kind hearted soul, he wouldn't want them to suffer from what he went through. So, if he can do something about it, no wonder he will try to even break the rules just to help them. Actually, he didn't really need to possess his host in order to understand how they feel, since he is already an incredibly empathetic character. Not to mention, he also has this savior complex that is willing to put himself in danger for the sake of helping others, even a little. And although there may be times that he acts harsh and uncaring, which make him seem out of character, he will still try to do something about it in the end. So, with Sung Xiaoshi's personality and circumstances, it's really hard to blame him for the stupid things he did. Besides, it really hits different when you're in the actual scene and being the actual person, compared to just observing the events remotely, like with Lu Guang and with us viewers. But I'm not saying that Seng Xiaoshi should be excused for everything he did. The wrong things he did are still wrong. But no worries. Seng Xiaoshi had been learning from his mistakes, and he had been learning them the hard way. With that, his character development from season 1 to 2 is so impressive. That guy who stubbornly entered a photo on his own in season 1 had stopped himself from recklessly doing the same in season 2, even if his guardian isn't around. He has also become more careful in entering photos because of the consequences that may happen when he does so. My favorite is when he realized his own impulsiveness, particularly on this scene when he called himself an idiot. So, yes, he has self awareness. Although Cheng Xiaoshi is not considered to be as smart as Lu Guang and even Xiao Ling, it does not necessarily mean that he is dumb. It was somewhat discussed in an interview with the director. The interviewer found it strange that Cheng Xiaoshi graduated from the same university as Lu Guang. Well, since Cheng Xiaoshi often just plays around, he is not expected to have good grades. But apparently, Cheng Xiaoshi is the type of genius that may perform badly in class, but will later catch up very quickly once he gets serious. So yes, although he doesn't seem like it, Cheng Xiaoshi is actually very smart. And we do get to see Cheng Xiaoshi's intelligence from time to time, especially on his analytical and deduction abilities. There was even an arc in the manhwa adaptation where he somewhat investigated a case like a detective. And remember this scene of them with the father of the missing child? It was Tung Xiaoshi who had figured out what picture they can use so that they can have another attempt in rescuing the boy. He also managed to identify Li Tianzhen's powers from his few interactions with the antagonist. It's also very incredible that he was able to get clues from what his enemies are saying during fight scenes. His ability to stay calm in the face of danger is really amazing. So, like what Xiaoling had said, although Cheng Xiaoshi is careless like a kid, but when facing challenges and difficulties, he is very impressive. Speaking of which, I also noticed that Cheng Xiaoshi is usually the one with the plan. Like that time when they fought against the serial killer going after Su Shanshan, how they kept their friends safe and how they tricked and captured the criminal. Everything was Cheng Xiaoshi's idea. I think Lu Guang is aware that Cheng Xiaoshi can make smart choices if Cheng Xiaoshi had thought deeply about it, which must have been one of the reasons why he gave Cheng Xiaoshi some time to think things through before starting their dangerous rescue mission. By the way, I also think that Cheng Xiaoshi is very cunning. After all, he had tricked Li Tianzhen not only once, and I believe that the method to trick the cops in order to escape the hospital room in this scene was his idea. He can outsmart other people, even Lu Guang. However, he uses most of his brain cells in doing silly things. He managed to get to eat the yummy noodles one last time, even though Lu Guang said no. Some of his silly acts are actually like disguises to clever strategies. Like that one time when he and Lu Guang were tasked to combat each other. Neither of them wanted to initiate the fight. So, Cheng Xiaoshi said bad things about himself, which were effective in provoking Lu Guang. That wasn't the only time he put himself down to get what he wants. Like that one time when he was trying to make Lu Guang model for them. He had convinced Lu Guang to take selfies by just being happy to have been considered handsome. Okay, maybe it was just a coincidence, but I firmly believe that it was one of Cheng Xiaoshi's psychological tricks on Lu Guang. Oh, he's really such a genius when it comes to pranks and outsmarting Lu Guang for silly things. By the way, Cheng Xiaoshi is also very innovative. He used his own Photoshop to make Lu Guang look like a celebrity for their studio's promotional pictures. But he's not only like that when doing mischief. You see, as soon as he discovered that he won't turn into a surveillance camera if he dived into one, he came up with the idea of entering and exiting photos while in present time. And I think Cheng Xiaoshi was the one who thought of trapping his opponent in a dark room filled with photographs. Not only was he able to do unique attacks with his time travel power, but he had also managed to fool his opponent into thinking that he has some teleportation ability. Though he eventually indeed possessed something like that in season 2. Oh, I really admire how Cheng Xiaoshi makes his own powers level up. I look forward to how his powers will evolve further in season 3. Cheng Xiaoshi is so flawed at the beginning, and that's what makes him such a fantastic character. He had room for growth. He was not only learning from his own experiences, but he is learning from other people's experiences as well. His gradual development not only made him more matured, but even more remarkable than he originally was. And even though he acts childish and silly, he's actually a genius. This may have been one of the reasons why he syncs so well with Lu Guang. They are on the same level. So, even if Lu Guang calls Cheng Xiaoshi an idiot plenty of times, deep inside, Lu Guang is aware of how brilliant this guy truly is. It's the same with Xiao Ling. Although she may see him as an immature little brother, she actually acknowledges his strengths as well. Both Lu Guang and Xiao Ling believe in Cheng Xiaoshi. They rely on him and even let him lead them. But I'm not saying that Cheng Xiaoshi had never been foolish. He really does stupid things from time to time. He can also be unbelievably dense. But although Cheng Xiaoshi may be a fool, he is our beloved fool. So, if you enjoyed this video about this remarkable idiot, I would appreciate it if you click the like button. That always motivates me to create more videos like this. And of course, there are many other incredible and interesting things about Cheng Xiaoshi that weren't mentioned in this video. We can cover them in other videos. So please subscribe in order to be notified once they're ready, okay? Thanks! And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Take care!